Hello everyone, my name is Mariza Vasquez. I own my own business called Mariza Vasquez and Associates, and my website information is back here. And I have been asked today by Instructor Blevins to come to you and your last day of class to give you an overview of diversity management and conflict management is a valuable tool to have in our toolbox. My understanding is that all of you here at Red Rocks Community College are interested in becoming full-time firefighters. Is that correct?
Yes.
Is anybody not having that as a goal right now in their career? All right. And there's a plan B and a plan C and a plan D, I'm sure. But that's primarily your goal. I'm going to fashion this presentation around diversity management, and I'm going to try to make it as relevant to what your life is today and what your dream of who you want to become is as well. All right? Now, you're all wanting to stay in Colorado? Is that also part of your goal? Or you're open to moving to other places?
Definitely open.
Wow, I heard open like in unison here. That's great to be open. So what places are you thinking of going to possibly? Just popular stuff. Hawaii? I love Hawaii.
Where we can get on, or where I can get on.
Even Alaska?
Actually, that is like second choice. Anchorage is.
Uh-huh.
I'm not kidding. So.
I hear that working on well, I hear working on the ice for 6 months really revs up your resume. Have you heard that before?
Oh yeah,
Yeah. Antarctica, right. I've heard about Antarctica.
But it's so lonely.
It's lonely, isn't it?
I hear they have 2 bars down there though. It's, honestly, it's positive to look up to. There's like only 1,000 people,
Right.
if that.
Maybe.
So, what other places? I hear somewhere cold, right? Antarctica or Alaska.
Kansas.
I heard Hawaii, Kansas is a possibility. Where else?
Maybe back to Arizona.
Arizona. That's where your home state is, right? Or where you grew up most of your life, I remember. Where else?
Australia.
Australia.
I'm not
Australia.
sure. That'd be kind of cool,
I
actually.
think different country would be kind of cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like a Hawaii, like wrestle crocodiles and I'm sure firefighters do that down
Yeah. Yeah. That's great. So some of you are considering, and you'll get the credit. You can pass on your whatever credits you have from this school. They'll accept them in Australia sometimes when you go.
I think they're working on that.
Yeah, so it's good to look into. Now your shirt says Ralph Lauren, but I'm sure that's not your name.
No, it's not.
What is your name again?
Jeff.
Jeff. So you said where else? You said you wanted to
Oh, no,
go?
I just said they're working on transferring credits.
Transferring
at
credits.
universities and stuff.
Okay. So we've got a diversity in this room already on what you want to do, right? Where you want to go, where you want to be a firefighter. Now, as a firefighter serving your community and thinking of the demographics, let's just stay in Colorado for the moment. Let's say you all get a job in Colorado. What kind of demographics and diversity will you be facing in the workplace, meaning your buddies that you're going to be working with, your brothers and your sisters, and also in the community?
Weather.
The weather. I'm talking about
Oh.
Well, within the city, it depends on the demographics of which.
right. So
area
just
you're
throw,
in.
just popcorn style.
All
throw me a few.
racial, every type of race.
Every possible
Race.
race and
African
ethnicity you can think of.
Hispanics,
Yeah.
people
Income
of Mexican
levels
descent,
too.
Socioeconomic level, absolutely.
Asians, and,
Beliefs, age, education,
Beliefs, your religion, that's diverse.
Right, there is diversity there. How about language? What languages do you think you might run into?
There's a lot of people
What's
from
good?
Somalia that
Yeah,
speak
Swahili.
Farsi over in Aurora.
Somalia.
Well,
I heard Spanish.
I'm pretty sure you have to speak English fluently to be hired on to a fire department because that's the majority language.
doesn't mean they won't call 911.
Right. So if someone calls
Oh,
911
no, just as a
as an employee,
yes,
you're going to have to at least have a basic
like a
English.
base as
Right.
your most fluent form possibly, or like a second fluent form
Right.
of language.
So what other languages other than English are you going to encounter?
Spanish.
Spanish.
Ooh, sign language.
Oh yeah.
That'll be interesting.
I work with a deaf guy.
You do?
He's really cool actually, because he reads lips now.
Guess they
And
would need it.
I actually want them to teach me some sign language because I think it's pretty cool.
Excellent, you're building that bridge of communication with him, that's great. We have a large Asian population here, and there's all sorts of different Asian languages like Hmong, Vietnamese, Chinese Mandarin. Those are all very different within the Asian umbrella. We have Bosnian and Russian, I mean, we have a whole bunch of we have a lot of diversity. So knowing that we might be working with some people who represent diversity in the fire stations, and the communities we're serving reflects a lot of diversity, does it make sense to learn a little bit about diversity so that we become more employable?
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect. So that takes me to our first flip chart. And I apologize because last time I was here, I was given a flip chart holder, and somehow we couldn't find the one for today, so we're having to improvise and use this. And I'm going to use this flip chart for us to brainstorm all the possible diversities that we've talked about and perhaps haven't mentioned yet. So I heard language already.
Religions.
Religion.
Economic factors.
Okay, economics.
Sex, male, female.
You bet. So gender. Whoops.
You want us to hold that for you?
Somebody want to hold this up while we're talking? Nah, that's okay. I'll make sure that it doesn't
Can't use
fall
the
off.
timeout guy.
What else?
Sexual orientation.
Sexual orientation.
Oh, yeah.
Race.
Okay, race. Now, race is a very interesting topic, obviously. And one thing that I want to bring up about race is that I am of Hispanic origin, and my preference is that you call me Latina. Now, anybody know why I'm not a Latino, but I am a Latina?
Because you're a female.
Because I'm a female, that's right. So in Spanish, bing, Alex gets points back there. So anything that ends with an A in Spanish has a feminine gender to it. Anything that ends with an O, it has a masculine. So I am a Latina. So that's my race. However, within the penumbra of race, there's people who come from South America, from Central America, from the Caribbean, from Spain, and there's a bunch of us from many different countries. So then my ethnicity would be Puerto Rican, because that's where I come from the small island of Puerto Rico. Anybody know where that is? Yeah, where is it?
It's in the Caribbean.
Yeah,
It's probably 50 miles south of Florida.
excellent.
Right by Cuba.
Close to Cuba and Dominican Republic and St. Thomas. Very close to all those islands. We're connected to each other. All right, so again, another example would be, we have a lot of Mexican Americans here in Colorado. So Mexican Americans, basically what their ethnicity is, although we refer to them as Latinos, Latinas, or Hispanic. And sometimes some of them refer to themselves as Chicano, depending on, you know, what their political belief systems are. You know, there's something around the history of Colorado that it used to be part of Mexico a long, long time ago. And after the Spanish War, we pushed them out south. But originally, this was part of Mexican territory. People who believe in that would call themselves Chicanos. All right, so we have a few more to fill out here. What else? Alex?
Handicap.
Handicap. So we'll call that disabilities. That's a more politically correct term for them. Although handicaps is still an acceptable way of describing them. What else?
Age.
Age. You guys will be considered young, most of you, right? There will be other firefighters who are what? Older than you. So age discrimination can be because you're too young, or sometimes people who are too old might be discriminated against as well. What else?
Political views.
Political.
Cultural.
Cultural. Excellent. like it. That means you're thinking and you're participating with me.
Start finish.
I just jinxed it, right? Okay, there's one more that sometimes some diversity trainers have a controversy of putting here or not. I like to put that in here because it's very real. And it's about personality. So you can take a bunch of Latinos, stick them in the same room, and we may or may not get along because their personalities are different, okay? We can get a bunch of future white firefighters in the same room, and you may or may not get along, all right? Why is that? Because we have different ways of handling conflict. And the way we were brought up, some of us are confronters, some of us are avoiders, and some of us need more tools in our toolbox to communicate a little better with each other, all right? So personality is big.
What about like location? My grandmother's like one of those people, she lives in the South,
Uh-huh.
and she hates Northerners.
All right, so geography is a big one.
Yankees. Yankees.
She knows the war's over, actually.
About the South.
That's a good, thank you for bringing that up. Now, as we're looking at this list, is there something you think that might be missing? Or do you think we have a complete list?
I don't know,
Jason?
I don't know if it falls into it, but, I was just thinking, if I hear somebody who's a West Douglas firefighter, neighboring fire department, trust them with an axe. And so, it was kind of geography, but like just training, you know, your,
Education.
so I guess, yeah, it would be education.
Loyalty.
Training. Well, it's not so much loyalty like my department's better, it's just, I've seen them on scene and they're
Yeah,
trained.
it's just like training, I guess.
So there's a certain reputation that you have with your educational background, and some trainings have a reputation of being better than others, just like some schools have a reputation of being better than others, and people might want to employ students who come from this community college versus that community college. I know that Red Rocks has a very good reputation for future firefighters compared to other schools in Colorado. Is that true?
Yeah.
And that's probably why you're here, because you did your research and you decided this is where I want to be. So that's very true. Anything else? on this
Possibly
list?
family, like where you grew up at.
Absolutely. Family, our background. If you come from arm-waving families that raise their voices as they're talking to you, but they're not really upset, they're just being really demonstrative, and then you visit your friend's house, where everybody speaks very slowly, cool, calm, and collected. You think we might misinterpret each other?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, what do you think might happen?
Right.
It's all over there.
Fisticuffs.
They might ask you to leave, politely. Or lower your voice. So when I first came out from Puerto Rico, when I got my first job here in the United States, because I lived Puerto Rico is not part of the mainland, my boss came from that more quiet, don't show your emotions environment, and he would tell me, calm down, as if he thought I was about to burst and just, have some kind of outburst. When in fact I was just getting really demonstrative about how excited I was about what I was talking about. I've calmed down throughout the years, but I still have it in me. All right, so anything else here? A complete list here?
Pretty solid right there.
Okay. So Jason, do you mind putting this up on the